Give me next 10 to 11 minutes and I will show you how to read the room, the conversation and the person in front of you with 199% more clarity, transforming every interaction you're going to have. We have been taught to communicate with words right from our kindergartens to college degree to graduation. But what if I told you that 80% of what's truly said has nothing to do with them? The worst mistake we make is believing that what we hear is a full story and a narrative. We are taught to answer the question. The moment somebody finishes the question, our mind is trained to go and answer. But we never stop to understand the intent behind it. This gap of not understanding is costing you more than just an awkward conversation. It's costing you probably your promotion, the trust, and your influence. My name is Pankaj Prasoon, and for over 2 decades, I have worked as a product leader and a transformation strategist, learning to navigate the silent language that governs every human interaction which we have. I have seen this unspoken truth that makes and breaks careers, deals and relationship. So let me show you. Watch how Steve Jobs just doesn't say something very powerful. He's reading the room first.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Did you notice the pause before the reveal wasn't just a filler? It was Jobs sensing the audience energy and then delivering an impact. That's the power of reading the room. Think about a time you gave a great presentation, but the audience looked completely distracted. Or a time you received feedback that completely felt useless. You were focused on what the words, the data, the facts, while everyone else in the room was reacting to the why. The unspoken why behind a colleague's blank expression, or a reason a customer said, "I will think about it," instead of yes. That's the real problem we are talking about. But no one is communicating about it. And here is a masterclass in listening. Watch how Oprah just doesn't rush to respond. She reads the weight of the moment first.
And then there's the issue of race. Megan, who is biracial, spoke about the time when she was pregnant with baby Archie.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
Despite all the tension, Megan said the Queen has always been wonderful to her.
That pause wasn't silence, it was empathy. Oprah leaned in, mirrored the energy, and made space for honesty. That's communication beyond words. This isn't just about speaking tips, it's about a framework to listen very differently. From my book, The Unspoken Truth, here are 5 elements that are going to help you become master of what I call perspective-driven communication. Number 1, the context. Where is this conversation happening? The context can completely change the meaning and realign the words. For example, a simple question like, "Is this ready?" means something entirely different when a CEO in the hallway is asking versus your manager is asking in a project review meeting. The context often will tell you the urgency and the priority. Number 2, the pause. Before you respond, pause for 5 seconds. This is not awkward. It is very intentional. It gives you the time to ask yourself, why is this person asking me this now? This single habit will change everything. It has worked for me and for many others, and I don't see any reason why it would not. And watch this.
What's the most important thing that you personally learned at Apple that you're doing it next?
Good question. I'm not sure I learned this when I was at Apple, but I learned it based on the data when I was at Apple. My first reaction isn't to go fix it. What do I need to do to help versus how do I fix the problem? That's painful sometimes, and I still have that first instinct to go fix the problem, but that's taking a longer term view on people is probably the biggest thing that's changed. And then I don't know, that's, maybe the part that's biological.
18 seconds of silence. Most people will panic, but Steve Jobs uses it as a strategy. The silence spoke louder than the word. The next, the intent. What is the speaker's hidden motivation? They might be asking you about a budget, but their intent is to see if you have an ego. Look for the emotions which are behind the words to truly find the true intent. And the impact. How is what you're saying landing on other person? We often focus on what we meant to say, but the impact is what matters. If you say, that's an interesting idea, and the person's shoulder slumps, you know the impact was completely negative. Regardless of your intent, your job is to read their body language. Your job is to see their facial expression, to see if your message is truly landing with them or not. And this is a super critical attribute of speaking. The wait, the why, and the what next technique, the core framework for moving forward, which I speak about in my book. First, wait for 5 seconds to truly find the intent. Then ask, why are they saying what they're saying? And finally ask, what next, to offer a solution that completely aligns to their true need. Now, here is an FBI negotiator, Chris Voss, showing exactly how to draw true intent just by mirroring.
We're supposed to put together notebooks. Actually, we're supposed to put together 3-ring binders, but in my head, those terms are synonymous. And he's putting this stuff together, and I ask him if he's got the notebooks ready. And he knows we're supposed to be putting 3-ring binders, and I'm saying notebooks. He doesn't know what's in my head, actually. Are you thinking something like this when I say notebooks? Who knows? Basically. But, this could be, this is not a 3-ring binder, is it? This is not a 3-ring binder. I don't know. I don't know what's the matter with him. I don't know why he can't read my mind. But anyway, so I say, are the notebooks ready?
Did you see how repeating the last few words unlocked more truth? That's the wait, the why, and what next in action. Now, let us see this in action. I was actually in a very high-stake meeting with one of my managers, and the leader said to me, Pankaj, I don't think so you're ready for this project. My initial reaction, I wanted to defend myself and list all my qualifications, but instead, I used the pause. I looked at his body language. He wasn't angry. He seemed worried. I realized he wasn't questioning my skills. He was worried about the project's timeline and the pressure from his own manager. His intent was to manage the risk, not to criticize me. And my response, because I paused and I tried to find the body language and the why, I didn't say I am ready. I addressed his hidden concern. I said, I hear your concern about this project. Let's talk about the specific milestones we need to hit to get this done on time. I used his why, the timeline and the risk, to drive what's next, a solution-oriented discussion. The single approach, or I would say this pause and the what and the why next, turned a potential conflict into a very productive conversation and strengthened our trust because I focused on the unspoken. Now here is what you need to do. Watch Simon Sinek do something very, very similar. The audience will completely shift and he adapts instantly. And this is a masterclass.
Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right?
That's the skill. Reading energy in real time and pivoting your delivery without losing focus on your message. Now, in the last 11 or 10 minutes, you now have a toolkit to go from a surface level communicator to a master of unspoken. Would it come today? No, you need to practice this. But what you will be able to walk with this is, number one, walk into any room with confidence and instantly sense the real dynamics at play. Number two, turn conflict into collaboration by uncovering the intent behind the words. And number 3, you're going to build that trust that feels instant and genuine because you are connecting on a level 95% of the people miss. Communication is no longer about what you say. It's about what you see, what you sense, and what shifts in the real time. And if you really want to go deeper, the full set of frameworks, the stories, and the exercises are part of my book, The Unspoken Truth. The link is below for you. When you master the unspoken, your words will stop sounding like noise. They will land with clarity. And my friend, this is not luck. That's not charisma. This is the power of reading the room. And now it's yours.